This one is getting coverage a little bit in a few places. The fact that in the lead up to the local elections that are going on um, in Germany, the AfD have had six candidates die. Apparently, it's up to seven now, and it's a difficult one to wrap your head around. Because there's apparently it's local elections. There's many thousands of candidates across the different political parties in the spectrum, and so it's not well. The fact that six candidates from one party have passed away could be completely normal statistically. It's up to seven now. Now, a few of them were very elderly. Some of them had um, complex medical conditions, and a couple of us just passed away of natural causes. That's still interesting. I mean, yeah, reported 20,000 candidates, so 6 out of 20,000. Yeah, okay, not probably not statistically significant. The fact that they all represent a single party smells, and a lot of people have latched onto that and have raised eyebrows. Again, it could be completely statistically fine, completely normal, but without knowing how many candidates from other parties have died, it seems to be an aberration. Now, statistics do all sorts of funny things when you may or may not see things that make sense, but we don't 100% know. Now, the fact it is a party that is controversial, that has sort of been accused of being extremists, classified as, well, there you go, classified as a right wing extremist organisation by the domestic spy agency, yet it is the second biggest party in the nation. Um, kind of, kind of seems a bit at odds. If the population is supporting to that extent, it's hard to say, oh no, we've got to ban the party because they're not nice. Yeah, it's interesting, or a struggle really, and yeah, I mean it. Looking at the breakdown of how the votes have been cast in the past, or the level of support for the different parties, it's very clearly down a border that no longer exists. And it seems odd that those are the regions that are strongly in support of or have passed in the AfD. You would have thought, given who'd controlled them in the past, maybe they'd be more left aligned. The fact that CDU has everything else, it doesn't really surprise as much. The fact the Greens and the lefts, or the presumably very far left, aren't getting much traction. Yeah, it's the concern for, well, most other people is the extent to which these party has emerged. I mean, there's reporting from the UK that the most recent polling has shown a massive amount of support for reform compared to Tories and Labor. How does that translate to at the polling votes? I'd say on polling day, on voting day. Well, even though Reform got a significant portion of the vote last election, it was spread kind of evenly, well, more evenly across the country, so that they didn't quite return the seats that a voting percentage of that amount would have normally attributed. So gerrymandered or whatever? No, not really. It's just the support was spread out. next time in the UK? They're going to see a map, something like this, maybe not this breakdown, but are they going to see a map where reform suddenly has taken over swathes of the country as people have made a push towards that sort of side of things? Maybe. Certainly, Australia only recently passed out brought in a leftist government at federal level. I wonder how long they've got before they go back to a more conservative viewpoint. But Australia doesn't tend to, if they have what's considered far right, they're not really a major party anywhere. If anything, the trend was towards something that was called teal independents, which were independents who were somewhat between Labor and the Greens, so, or even between Labor and the Liberals. They were not as not considered as far left or as ideologically pure as those bigger parties, but they were enough to break the hold of, in particular, the Conservative parties on seats that were considered safe. All right. Okay, we've got the cameras now up and running, which took, I don't know what's happening this morning. But are we going to see a swing away from that sort of government here in Australia? Probably not in the next election. It might be a couple of elections before they're returned. Australia certainly had a lot of time under a single, quite dominant Conservative government for many years in the early thousands. The returns at the last federal election certainly saw even safe progressive seats come under fire. The Greens and other far left smaller parties returned far less than they were expecting. Labor consolidated a lot and were able to really return power under their own steam. But are we going to see it? The US has obviously swung back and forth. UK currently has a left-leaning government. France has had a similar scare, if you look at it that way, with Marine Le Pen. So there's and then other countries as you go further east. People complain about Poland and Hungary. Romania had a swing towards, if you look at it as left and right, a swing towards conservatives, a swing to the right. Ukraine's probably far left. Well, not far left. It's left. Russia's seen as right. Just trying to think of where other nations are sitting. Japan was fairly conservative with Abe. It's moved away a little bit, but maybe heading back as well. There was stuff coming out of Thailand recently where the PM was sacked. Brazil's gone left, and Bolsonaro is currently in the middle of his trial about allegations of trying to rig the most recent election. Just trying to think what else. Obviously Venezuela's left, Cuba's left, but yeah, there's these interesting swings. So AFD doing this shouldn't really come as a surprise to many people. It seems that it is. But yeah, a lot of people are talking about it, and apparently we're now up to 7. And so obviously they're going to remake the ballots and things like that. But yeah, it's surprising the number that have come in from the one party. Like I said, it'd be interesting to see if we could have Oh, there you go. They've got 2 from all the other parties that have died. So 7 from one, 1 from another, and 1 from another. Yeah, okay. That looks and smells funny. It, like I said, it may be completely statistically okay, but it looks and smells funny. It's like tossing a coin. You can get a completely valid run of 100 heads on a well-balanced coin. Statistically, that's fine. It'll happen, but it looks odd when it does happen. It's like saying that statistically it's just as possible for the numbers 1 through 8 to appear in the lottery in sequence as it is for any other set of numbers to appear. But it's going to look funny. It's going to smell funny. And people find it difficult to accept that statistically. It's almost like the Monty Hall problem about switching doors as basically switching which door you choose to pick to get the prize from behind the door. Yeah, people struggle with understanding statistics sometimes. Wasn't a fun course either. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Interesting to see what has happened